And first on the show, we are cutting across to breaking news coming in at 4:01 p.m. Chief Secretary who's written to all the states saying earmark hospitals dedicated for management of COVID cases. Remember, this is primarily the need of the hour, as these are suggestions that have also been given by top doctors in the country. They have suggested that there should be dedicated hospitals looking into COVID cases, which will really help tackle the situation at this point, as the number in India of positive coronavirus cases is close to touching the 500 mark. Chief Secretary has written to the states saying earmark hospitals dedicated for management of COVID cases. Abhishek Kapoor, our executive editor, will be joining us very shortly to give us more details as far as this letter that has been written in by the Chief Secretary. But that is primarily the instruction that is being given to all the states to earmark hospitals that can be dedicated for the management of COVID cases. India, at a time that is battling coronavirus and a lockdown that has been imposed in most parts of the country, primarily to prevent community transmission, and now even as India is tackling the COVID situation, Chief Secretary writing to states saying earmark hospitals dedicated for management of COVID cases. Abhishek Kapoor is with us on this broadcast. Abhishek, what more can you tell us?
Suesha, this is a letter written by Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba to all the chief secretaries of all the states in the country, asking them to implement the measures that have been discussed the day before in the video conference that took place between them. Also, what is striking or important so far as viewers are concerned is that the government has decided to implement a measure which is important, and which is that setting up dedicated COVID hospitals across the country, for which instructions have been given now in this letter to the chief secretary, essentially at the district level, as the letter says, that states should immediately identify and earmark hospitals dedicated for management of COVID-19 cases and ensure that they are in a state of full readiness to deal with the situation in the event of a further spike in number of confirmed cases. India is almost standing at about 500 plus of COVID-19 cases now. And if it reaches into community transmission stage, Suesha, even if we have flattened the curve, the numbers would increase, and the government wants to make sure that every district headquarters in the country at least has one dedicated COVID hospital. That's the decision that has been communicated as earlier discussed in the meeting by the Cabinet Secretary to the Chief Secretaries of all the states.
Absolutely, Abhishek, and this was a suggestion that has also been given by top doctors in the country, that there should be dedicated COVID hospitals. But to really understand from you, if there is a specific number that has been allotted to different states based on the size and population of that state, or for the moment, is it about only earmarking the hospitals and then further decisions will be made on the same?
The details would be thrashed out depending on the size of the district, Suesha, both in terms of area and the population, whether the district needs perhaps more than one COVID hospital. But typically, one hospital should have about 100 beds is what we are being informed. Efforts towards which have already started. The government has, for example, I know of from where we operate in Gautam Budh Nagar, we have heard of a hospital that has been taken over and turned into a COVID hospital by the district administration. Similar measures are being implemented across the country. The Cabinet Secretary letter essentially reiterates the decision that was taken in the meeting of all the chief secretaries with the Cabinet Secretary a day before, that they should pass on instructions to their respective district administrations to make sure that one hospital is taken over, essentially because this is a kind of contagion which can spread through hospitals also. We have seen, for example, in the case of Italy, almost 10% of those who were confirmed COVID were actually healthcare professionals, medical doctors, and people from the medical field. So that's the reason why it's important that hospitals themselves are quarantined, and that's why the need for a dedicated COVID hospital. That's what Cabinet Secretary has.
Absolutely, Abhishek. We wait for more specifics on this, but the government clearly planning ahead of any sort of a crisis that could be, or even at a time when India is close to the 500 mark in terms of positive cases. We will come back to you for more updates. For the moment, thank you.